Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And the next movie review I'm going to be reviewing an old, one of the old Walt Disney movies, and it's one of the ones they ordered a while back that I showed on the DVD update, whatever. And I said I'd like to review. I'll review some of these when I watch them and stuff, and this is one of them. So one of the old Disney films that I got is the 1969 one called Rascal. So yeah, Rascal, released in 1969. The whole gist of it is that this a boy by the name of Sterling North, him and his pet raccoon named Rascal. And throughout the whole film, it's narrated by the voice of the narration is Sterling when he's much older, tells about his life during this one summer, and about his life with his short-lived life with his pet raccoon named Rascal. And I enjoy it. I think it's a cute looking Walt Disney film, and I always liked how old Walt Disney films looked back in like the 60s and the 70s. Just how the way the film looks just makes it look like an old Disney film, which I always enjoy because I like Disney film. I like Disney films of today though, but I know for a fact that it's nowhere near as good from the old days. I know that, especially from the 60s, the 70s. I'd probably even say even to the 80s as well. For live action ones, not the animation ones. So, but just like this one, like the original Incredible Journey, or even the old Winnie like how the little bits of live action, so like the opening sequence to the Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. You know, the opening sequence. You know, shows of Christopher Robin's his bedroom with his toys and all that. Just how the way the film looks at that, just oozes old Disney style footage. And I always like this look. The look of how the film looks for old Disney films. So yeah. But the whole thing is that we get narration by an older Sterling who tells about his one time in the summer about his life, about Rascal. It's the start of a summer vacation, and his mother died. And his dad is a real estate agent. He travels great distances. He doesn't be back till like about a week at most. His sister, she has a job in Chicago. She like ever comes to visit her, and you know, wherever she can. And she's a worrisome. And one day when Sterling is with his dad. And they also have a dog by the name of Wowzer. And they send the dog. Well, first they look at a cat that's like from Canada, but it's all the way out here. I think they're supposed to take place in Wisconsin. A lynx. It's like a type of cat, but a little bit bigger. And then the dog sniffing out like a hole in the log where it's a raccoon. An adult raccoon, and accidentally chases away the mother raccoon on a few of the raccoon cubs. And there's one that gets left behind, and that is Rascal. So Sterling takes it, basically adopts it, wants to take it home with him, and he meets with some of the neighbors, like a guy by the name of Garth. And also another one by the name of C.Y. Jenkins, like the C.Y. Jenkins. I forget, like Cy. That's why he has a corn crop, and the other guy is a farmer. And they're a little bit concerned because the raccoon is a varmint. Because how raccoons are, they're scavengers. They go into people's garbages and stuff like that. Like um or like RJ in Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge, how he's a scavenger, he wants food and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what raccoons are. Well, I probably don't know that, but I'm just saying. But they still want him anywhere near their stuff, so Sterling said he's gonna raise him to not be like a vermin. And they think that won't get along with the animals, like the dog and the horse. But the dog and both the dogs and the horse, they seem to like the raccoon. They get along just fine. And then for the raccoon, looks really cute looking. And let's see here. One time when the dad he has to go away and so it same as his sister, and Sterling is left all alone, and it gives time, just to bond with the, because Sterling, he also wants one of his projects. He wants to build this canoe, and just spend time with the pets, and just Theo, writing letters to his brother, saying how he's doing, because also think they want to hire a housekeeper to keep the place in shape, but this woman, Miss Satterfield, she doesn't like animals, so she will either they get the animals out, or don't have her, and Sterling doesn't want that. So, and even neither did the father. So they just don't hire one, and they just make the sister think. Basically, Sterling thinking that the sister's making the sister think that the housekeeper is still there, which she's not. And she's writing back in letters, and also like how him spending time like swimming with the dog and the raccoon, and cute where the raccoon is sitting a little basket on the bicycle. That was kind of cute. Or the funny part where he's drinking Sterling's drinking root beer, or even the Rascal is drinking a bottle of root beer. I thought that was kind of a funny yet cute as well. And then one part where Rascal goes into the corn crop, and the guy catches him. It's like, hey, he's in my corn. He's a vermin and all that. And he says, stay away. Make him stay away. And I thought where Sterling's teacher named Miss Whalen and a new reverend comes out. Who's gonna be a new reverend for the church. They stop by, and they try to demonstrate how Sterling how wants to make Rascal resist, say no to the corn. It's like, hey, puts him one end of the table and corn on the side of the table. It's like, Sterling, Rascal, come this way. And when he goes to the corn, say, no, this way. And it goes to, and both the adults are kind of like impressed. And he says he wants to keep the way he is, but the teacher reminds him that, there comes a time when nature calls, and things are not going to be the same. And I forget what the exact dialogue was. Like, when nature calls, he'll give like a tap on the ear, give him a tap on the ear or something like that. So, which comes into play a little bit later. But, and then when his dad comes back, they invite the people to stay for dinner. And you get more stuff in, since we're Rascal, he's like sneaking. I thought it's kind of funny though, because the older Sterling narrating, explaining how we're Sterling Rascal is how the way he finds ways to escape the house, to get more, scavenge more stuff, like get into the go on the windows, or up through the attic, or through another part of the house, whatever, and they have to keep on blocking it up. I thought it was just kind of cute that way how this raccoon is smart to go from different places to the house to get out and like get more stuff for food from different neighbors. But when he takes him out into town, the local police, the sheriff, I should say, is he gives out his rule book of the law saying it's a public nuisance, but when an instance it happens when this an old guy by the name of Walt Dabbit, he's driving his car, which he uses blows the whistle on a lot, and he accidentally swerves into one of these old things on the sidewalk, and one of Sterling's neighbors, they place a bet on racing. His horse, I think it was Garth, yeah, his horse against the guy's car. And while they're all talking, Rascal he gnaws off the leash that he's on the bike and goes into the general store, and he causes a bit of a mess, or people are frightened. It costs them a series of gimmicks. Things. People are falling over, creating big messes. Everything's falling off, down, creating a huge amount of messes. And that leads, for the dad to build this outdoor cage to put him in. And I know that Sterling is quite upset about that. And at nighttime, he hears Rascal's cries out, which also forgot to say that after the incident of the general store, all the dogs are chasing him, which leads to this scene right here where he's inside of a cannon. I thought this is kind of cute. It's just cute looking at him sticking inside the cannon. But anyway, getting back to it, he's crying, and even the dogs out there are not staying by Rascal's side until he says he wants to he's about to give him up, let him go back to the wild and all that. There's a day of the racing where the two old guys are racing, and the guy in the car, he has a lead because the horse is being a little bit unsettled, because I think he kind of misses the raccoon, I guess, because make animal friends with, I say. So they arrive on the start of the race, and they give Sterling gives the guy Rascal he puts him inside of his jacket, and I guess ultimately that makes the horse go faster because Rascal's with him, and ultimately wins the race. But the guy in the car, I mean, he can see where he's going though, because there's I forget what those called. It's like a bridge though, but it's like what those things are called? With a roof with a bridge with a roof on it. I forget what they're called though, but he can see where they're going, but I guess he just I don't know. He could just hit the brakes and stop though, because they both can't fit in that small space though. But I guess that for the comedy, I guess they had to make him purposely go off the road into the river. So the horse wins, and now everyone loves Rascal. It's like, oh, you can eat my corn anytime you want, or you can come by and get anything you want from the store, and this and that. So Rascal is is back into the great good, as older Sterling narrates, into the good graces of the people. Even the sheriff rips up a page from the law book about this incident is out the window with this raccoon, basically. So. And then when it comes to time, when it's during Thanksgiving, the dad comes back with a big turkey that he wanted to get. And Theo comes home with their fiance. And by the time when she gets into town, she asks about when the Miss Satterfield, who was supposed to be the housekeeper. She tells him that she was never there at the house anyway. So she gets upset. She drives all the way to the house and talks to Sterling, and he being perfectly honest, says she hated animals and wasn't let his pets go. So she understood that, and when the the dad comes home, and also Theo talks to him about, you being away for so long. You see that he's being more lonely. You need to be a better father, and this and that. Just typical things about trying to make your child feel more a part of the family instead of being apart, basically. So, and then when it's nighttime, they're asleep, and Rascal sneaks into the sister's bed. She screams, and he races down the stairs, and he's trying to get out of one of the windows, but it's been nailed shut, though. Sterling tries to grab him, and then he ends up growling and ends up biting him. And then he remembers what his teacher said, about the whole thing of nature, saying, and he wants to let him go now. And so, by the time how the film ends, he's riding in that canoe that he built, crosses the lake, and where there's this female raccoon that is there, and he drops him off, and then Rascal is automatically with the female raccoon. And when he paddles back, the lynx, the big cat, was going to is attacking them. But when Sterling hears him, he thinks that the Rascal and the other one is in trouble. It turns out they can take care of themselves. They're both standing together and hissing or growling, whatever, confronting the lynx. Not being afraid, pushing it back. It makes it fall in the water. See how Sterling can narrating how he can take care of himself, and he kind of knows that Rascal knows he's some way saying goodbye to Sterling, and it's kind of a sad moment, because when you love something and you have to part with it, it is kind of a sad moment. And Rascal giving like a final like cry goodbye or whatever, and Sterling looking back, waving, smiling as he paddles back, and it's before the end shows up. So yeah, so Rascal, I would say I like Rascal. It's a cute old Disney film, for the idea that I think it's based on a book, a book by the same name, Rascal. I think it's a cute film. That's because Rascal the raccoon looked cute, even though the raccoons are supposed to can be a little bit vicious, and a little bit rabid, I'd say. But just how how the raccoon was, he was just cute looking. The funny little antics he gets himself into, trying to escape the house, trying to get into more neighbors' food, stuff like that, and the hijinks of causing the mess in the store and hiding in this cannon here. I mean, it does look pretty cute, doesn't it? Just the whole way, especially when it's a small baby, and it looks pretty cute looking. But I enjoy Rascal. I think it's a fun old Disney film, and yeah. It looks like it old for an old late '60s Disney film. Box office on the back here says perfect family fun, perfect family entertainment. I had an entertainment from it. Just watching a cute raccoon for a pet and bonding with this boy. The funny moments, where cute, where riding in the bicycle, or even this is where he was drinking root beer. So yeah, I'll say it's a cute family film. So, and the boy, Bill Mumy, well, like Mummy, but with one M, not a double M. I thought he played fine. To me, I thought he looked like a little bit. To me, I thought he looked a little bit kind of like resembling look a little bit like Ron Howard in a way. How young he was from Happy Days. I thought he kind of looked like a little bit like Ron Howard. Maybe this is one of my way of thinking, but yeah. But yeah, if it was not seen Rascal, I would recommend to check it out if you don't like if you like these old Walt Disney films. So yeah, so that's my review for Rascal, and which I'll get to all the other ones that I said I would, but so much stuff, so it's a little time. So, but yeah, I'll eventually will get to them. But yeah, but this one I managed to get to, and this is Rascal. Cute raccoon movie. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.